I hear often, Mr. Sinclair, you just got a heart of stone. Don't you want to share with your fellow man? And I tell them, listen, I hail from sunny Panama, and my granddaddy, he got himself drowned building the big ditch. Went on and on about doing it for the people, for the world entire. Well, not for me, thank you. I came to Georgia to strike it rich, and rapture all the more so. You won't catch me blowing my last bubble for any other personage, plural or singular. I do love Siren Alley. The kind of place you go to scratch an itch you're ashamed of, even in a town with no laws. But that's not why I favor it. The place started out as the Masons' Quarter, all builders and architects, proper as you please. And it just tickles me when someone in a fancy hat falls in the mud. Like a lot of the ladies down here, Siren Alley was born with a more respectable name, but only God remembers what it was. Old Pauper's Drop's the worst neighborhood in Rapture, but it's a hell of an opportunity to raise up some affordable housing. When Atlantic Express was constructing their luxury passenger line, this place was hollowed out beneath as flop houses for the railway crew. Nobody was supposed to reside down here long term, but when you're broke in this town, you're not exactly swimming in alternatives. I don't favor spending more than an hour or so down here at a time. There ain't a side of the tracks more wrong than under 'em. If a smart fella wanted to talk some bankrupt fat cat into moving to a slum, he'd call the place a hotel on the nightly. The tenant dries his eyes and tells himself it's only temporary, and the smart fella shaves a dime a day off his drinking wage. Now, a smarter fella might also bankroll the local gin joints and take him for the rest. Now, I'm a modest man, but my piecemeal needle scam's an outright masterpiece. Some slob shacked up here buys a box of syringe pots from me for twice what it's worth. He assembles them in his rat hole, and I buy back the finished product for a dime against the dollar that I'll get from Ryan. Profit coming, profit going. Old Andy rambles on about the great chain. I got people shelling out to pull it for me. Sophia Lamb's had her eye on Rapture for years, and now she's got it. She started preaching unity and brotherhood for the downtrodden right here in the drop. This movement springing up around her is almost a kind of old-time religion. Now, these governors Lamb's got in charge would never have seen power in Ryan's day. They're nobodies, really. But I used to raise spaniels, and the only thing meaner than the top dog was the underdog, when he had just plain had enough. Persephone, secret home of Sinclair Solutions. I bet against Andy Ryan's vision of harmony and rapture, offered him a quiet place to send anybody who wasn't working out, and now I'm sitting on my own private think tank. Technically, Utopia shouldn't have much use for a detention facility, but if you do business as long as I have, well, you learn to pick a brand name from the writing on the wall. Things aren't so rosy for Lamb's little collective farm down here, no matter how much influence she's got with the inmates. She keeps feeding Ryan more and more of her people for the Big Daddy program in order to keep the rest of her flock alive. I think she's getting desperate. I ought to have Weir double the orderlies on all the major junctions. Andrew Ryan. He reckoned the free market was some kind of Holy Spirit gonna lead us all over the rainbow. And I reckon it's a big fat hooker too dim to spot a wooden nickel. So old Andy went and became his own ghost, and I whittled nickels till I made a mint. Well, look at you. A bona fide knight in armor, complete with iron horse. The name's Augustus Sinclair, sport, Esquire. Old Tannenbaum and I share an interest in the old Fontaine building, the very same place you'll find Eleanor Lamb. I think you and I can do business. Take the train to Ryan Amusements. I'll see you shortly. Whoa there! Now better apply the brakes unless you're aiming to dash yourself against that glacier up ahead. As you can see, Chief, the station here's iced over. To reach Eleanor Lamb at Fontaine headquarters, we'll have to clear the way. Now, in order to melt that ice, you'll need a plasmid like a handful of hellfire. We used to sell a fine old product called Incinerate in the amusement park up yonder. Go on and find a way in. I've already been on all the rides. You're a rare old model, son. Alpha Series, I believe. Now, Rapture's full of scientific wonderments just like you, and if we can sell them to the world at my price, well, curing your condition ought to be a cakewalk. Once we find Eleanor, the sky's the limit. Hack the door controls. That should pop it open. Looks like you're out of hack darts. I'll send you some more by Pneumo. Jim dandy. That'll get you in the park. But buying Incinerate's gonna cost Adam. It's a sort of genetic goo that lets you rewrite whatever God gave you. The little sisters carry the stuff, as you may recall, so you'll need to locate one. I heard whispering near the El Dorado Lounge. Have a look. Now that Big Daddy won't bite until you do. But to get to Lil Sis, you gotta put the old boy down for good. Take a breath, son. You did it. Now, just let her ride on your shoulders and she'll trust you like her own daddy. We're in business. Now, there are corpses all over Rapture, and little Dimples there can sniff out the atom on them. Find one. She's got a juicy one, but when she starts draining out the atom, the splicers will come running. Be ready before you set her down on that body. Just put her right down on that corpse. Here they come. Keep the splicers off her now till she's finished, or they'll never give up the hunt. Now you know the stakes, son. But a plasmid costs a bit more atom yet. Keep it up. All right, Chief, we've almost got enough atom now. To get the rest, you'll have to take care of that little sister. There should be one of the air vents they favor in the workshop. Bring her down there. Now, Tannenbaum would have you turn that sister human again. You'll get just enough atom for our purposes, and the girls will likely try to repay you somehow. But Rapture's a high-stakes town, son, and she is a jackpot. You just have to be willing to take it all. You'll harvest more atom than the price of one plasmid, so the rest is gravy. Think about it. Down here, it's your survival or hers. Well, our Tin Man had a heart all along. Personally, I call that a liability, but you have enough atom now. Barely. Head to the Hall of the Future and splice up with Incinerate. Euthanasia, son. That's all it was. You have more than enough atom now. Head to the Hall of the Future and splice up with Incinerate. Holy Moses, son. Not even a big sister can keep you down. Well, come on back and melt the ice and we can say goodbye to this 2-bit carny ride. You should be able to melt that ice with Incinerate, Slick. Outstanding, sport. You're proving to be quite a windfall. Now just open the train tunnel from the security booth there, and I'll come out and jump on. I like to look a man in the eye when I give him my word. You and me, kid, we're going places. Lem was waiting for us. Come out shooting and start the train. Lam's trying to box us in, kid. This is a goddamn citywide lockdown. To keep the train moving, you need the security override key from the local governor, Grace Holloway. She kicked me out of my own hotel down here, the Sinclair Deluxe. Find her and get that key. Well, sport, I guess Gracie's home, but that big lug just dropped half my damn hotel in your way. Now, to break through that mess, I expect you're going to have to work out how he got so burly. Find yourself a genetic research camera, son. You can pick up any number of tricks from a splicer with one of those. Try the pawn shop downtown. Gracie's got the wrong idea. You're not responsible for turning Eleanor into a little sister. Big daddies are just slaves, and you only recently broke free. Well, there's the pawn shop, but it's bolted up tight. You'll have to find another way inside, I expect. Use that code you found on the keypad outside the clinic. Should get you up on the rooftops. That thing's a miracle in Technicolor, kid. Works like a movie camera. Start the film rolling before you open fire on a splicer, and then anything you hit him with tells you more about his DNA. Let's give it a dry run, shall we? Easy now. Looks like you got the jump on this fella. Start your camera recording him, then hit him with a little bit of everything. Plasmids, firearms, whatever you can dish out. That's it, son. Camera spits out a prize once in a while as you learn what makes a splicer tick. Now, find one of those big old brutes and take him out on film. Before long, you'll be able to brush aside that mess at the hotel. Using that camera's a bit like telling a joke. Each time you tell it the same way, it gets a little more stale, so you gotta change it up to keep it fresh. Remember, son, without using that research camera, we can't get to Gracie, and that means we're stuck here. Get one of those big apes on film, then work him over. There's one of those big goons now. Start your camera rolling on him, and then let him have it. Oh, now you forgot to start your camera rolling first. Remember, you don't get nearly as much out of researching a corpse. Looks like you neglected to film those big bruises back there. Head back and get some footage of the corpses. Not exactly ideal, but it's enough for the camera to do its work. Look at you, sport. A regular junior shutterbug. And it appears you've picked up a new trick from that big galoot. Now get back to the Sinclair Deluxe and just bust through that mess blocking your way. Since you already laid your hands on a genetic research camera, this next part will be easier. Just rev up that drill of yours and slam right through that pile of junk blocking your way. Now Gracie was on the top floor. Get on up there and persuade her to give you that override key. Gracie's room is just up ahead. Now, she's been sending all manner of unkindness your way, so I'm not particular as to how you take that key away from her, but she's old, and this grudge against you was based on a misunderstanding. Your call, friend. Gracie's unarmed, for what it's worth. The override key is right there, son. Whatever you do to Gracie, don't forget why we're here. You're a bigger man than I am, Chief. Maybe next time she'll think twice about pointing fingers before all the facts are in. Now, let's be on our way. Eleanor's waiting. Swan song. Well, I back your survival instinct, Chief. In Rapture, a bleeding heart tends to bring in the sharks. Now, head back and free up this train station. Eleanor's waiting. Swan song. Well, I back your survival instinct, Chief. In Rapture, a bleeding heart tends to bring in the sharks. Come on back to the train station and use that override key. Head back to the train station, sport. Just take that override key and slot it into the control box in the ticket booth there. That'll open the gates. Hop on, kid, and start the train. Don't make me pull the whistle now. Kid, come on, wake up now. There you are. I thought you rode that torpedo into the great hereafter. I'm in Dionysus Park now. Train cars are shambles, leaking air. Whole damn place is flooded and sealed. But there's a pumping station back there in Siren Alley, and I believe you could jerry-rig it to drain the park out. That'd let you stroll right inside. Get to those pumps, and hurry. The park is sealed, Chief. You aren't getting in there just yet. But if you get down to that pumping station in Siren Alley and drain the place out, this airlock will let you in. Mother of mercy, I think that was Simon Wales. What's he done to himself? He and his brother were Rapture's architects, but when Doc Lamb came along, Simon got religion. He's got a kind of church down in the pumping station. Expect a reckoning when you arrive. Looks like the good father's kept up with the code locks. Time was, only way to join with Doc Lamb was to beg an audience with him first. Must be some sign of that number lying around. See if you can find us a lead. The Pearl was among the ritziest lodgings in Rapture, but during the war the residents put themselves up for sale. Daniel's office is on the top floor, I believe. That has to be Daniel. Hunt him down and pin his ears back, kid. Go ahead and check Daniel's pockets for that door code, Chief. Found the code, did you? All right, time to hightail it back to the door and punch those numbers in. Now through this junction is the rest of the alley, including the very pumping station we're after. Father Wales has been recruiting holy rollers down there for Lamb. They've cut the power on you. You're stuck till the backups kick in. I'll help you hold them back. Check the pneumo. Attaboy, sport. I think you're closing in on Simon's underground temple. Now get down to pumping station number 5 and drain out the park here. Oxygen's running thin in this train car, and I'd sure hate to see our partnership cut short. Pump control ought to be in the back. One thing, though. Once you transfer the suction to Dionysus Park, we've got a tiny window of opportunity to get you inside. I don't have much air left, but I'll hang in there. You make sure you're ready before you throw that switch. You're a tough hombre, Chief. Get the key off him and use it to get into the pump control room. Lamb's overloading the pumps. The place is coming down. Get to Dionysus Park. Get out of there, kid! Dionysus Park was owned by Sophia Lamb, Chief. Sort of a private retreat for her social experiments. One night it flooded, killing all her guests. Papers said it was cult-related. Come on up to the train station. Let's rendezvous. Well, the good news is I've located a new train car, but the station's still locked down and we're not alone in here. I see a shadow in the security booth. I'll lay low while you have a gander. Well, I'd say he's hiding something, but he sort of took the fun out of that one. He's locked in the security booth, however, so we'll have to play along. Find those sisters. When all this is over and we're divvying up Rapture's bounty, you and I'll be holding court on a private island, son. Think of it, each world power on bended knee, holding a bouquet made of money. Doc Lamb's turning up the heat, Chief. Head on back to the train station. Let's hit the trail. This is it, Chief. End of the line. If I'm right, Eleanor's mama's using Adam to force all Rapture's minds and memories into the poor girl. Lamb reckons it'll make that child a saint. Now, Eleanor's in a deep, dark place beneath Fontaine headquarters, and to keep you alive, we need to sneak in and find her. Gil Alexander. As I recall, he was involved in Big Daddy development from the beginning. Likely had something to do with you and Eleanor, son. Alex the Great? Oh, hell, that has to be Gil Alexander, same man who left that message we're following. He sounds mad as a March hare now. Oh, he's jamming the voice print lock with that awful crooning. See if you can find some way to sabotage his control of building security. I think you're onto something, kid. Some kind of pirate relay doohickey keeping security under his spell. Find the rest of those and vandalize them directly. As I recall from my time doing business with the owners, that oxyfill station out there's just a front for a kinda hidden passage leading down below. If Lamb's hiding Eleanor from you, that's where she'll be. Well, listen, son, those override keys you've been hunting are genetically encoded. And to get to Eleanor, you're gonna need one from Alex the Great in there. First things first, we gotta pin him down. Find those plants he mentioned and lure him back out. Rebirth, huh? Sure, you live forever, but minus your body. I like my body, kid. I don't feature the idea of my memories and personality being stored in the head of some saintly child, like just one more dusty old book in the library. Poor things. What a life, marching around playing daddy until some splicer manages to kill off their sister. And then if the coma doesn't take them, they turn maniac. Nothing left to do but scream. No offense intended, son. We better get you to Eleanor on the double. All right, sport. Time to feed the fish. Head on back to Alexander's tank and put those plants in. Perfect, son. You reeled him in. Now, use that console there to take a gene sample. It should print up a genetic key automatically. The key is all ready. Go on and take it. You got the key to Lamb's hideout, sport. Eleanor's down there. Now just head out to the oxyfill station and use it. This is the oxyfill station, Chief. But don't be fooled by the facade. This is the way in. Use that key now. Persephone. We're finally here. Find Eleanor, son, and fast. Her mama's got all Rapture dying to keep you two apart. That's her, son, Eleanor Lamb. No matter what you might be feeling right now, this is business. Get that cage open. She's coming with us. That tank she's in. Use the controls to break the quarantine seal. Hurry now! Quarantine chamber's waiting on you. Get in there! What are you waiting for, kid? Your signal's breaking up. I can't see or hear a thing. Something's blocking me.
Attention! Augustus Sinclair has been captured within the facility whilst attempting to reach Subject Delta. He is to be transferred into the therapy wing for rehabilitation.
Kid, lamb's in my head. I can't help myself. I have to fight just to talk. Left me my goddamn tongue to torture the bomb codes out of me. She wants me to stop you leaving. I'm sorry. Kid, I'm sorry. I've locked you in here. Lamb's making me dance on her goddamn strings. I can't stop. You're gonna have to break in here and put me down. Wish there was another way, but I'd rather die a man than live like this. Son, I built this place and I did rent you out to those plasmid trials up at Fontaine. And now I'm paying for it. Wish I had time to make amends. Take the lifeboat, it's all yours. Just don't leave me like this. When you do me in, kid, don't blame yourself. I won't be able to stop from trying to gun you down, but it helps to know that you'll stick it to Lamb after, and let young Eleanor see the sun. I'd tell you the code to that keypad if I could. It's like Lamb's put walls up in my head, but the prisoners here might have worked out the number. Check the cells. Oh, please, hurry. It hurts to keep singing out without say-so. And I'm starting to forget the words. Good, son. That's half the code. Now find the rest. That's the full code, kid. You've done it now. Now just come on in here and put me down easy. You got the code! Thank God, kid. Now, please, just make it quick. You did it, kid. Now, come find me. I'm sorry we gotta say our farewells like this. Maintenance tunnel, yes, I remember. That could get you near enough to lure me out. Try it, kid. Hurry. You're in the tunnel. Ought to give you some kind of jump on me. I hope. Good. I can see the back doors open. I'll try to get something in here to pick a fight. It's gotta be a real threat, I think.
Don't let me hurt Eleanor. I'm sorry, kid. Please, kill me. I'd do it myself if I could. Please, I don't want to live like this. Don't leave me this way. Let me die a free man. No! Kill me! Ah! You haven't got time to run. Please, come back. You've got to finish it. Where are you going? Don't go! Kid, come back! You gotta do it! No, kid, you aren't done! God, I'm so sorry. No, 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 no! Oh no, what have I done?
So long, kid. Thank you.
I'm glad it was you, son. So long.